All right, guys, we made it. We made it to the end of 2020. We are now in 2021. And as far as the Seahawks go, it was a pretty interesting season. We saw some ups, we saw some downs. There were definitely some moments where the team disappointed a lot of us. There were definitely some moments where we left some stuff on the table, but we did manage to make it out of 2020 with a division title. We made it out of 2020 with a 3 seed at the minimum. And we made it out of 2020 with what can be reasonably considered a successful season. We've taken the first step towards making 2020 successful as a whole. So we still have one game left, but the question for this game is not so much about are we going to win or lose. The question is more how are we going to navigate this difficult balancing act, because this game is likely not going to mean all that much in terms of winning or losing, although we don't know yet. And unfortunately, fate has conspired to make sure that we're not going to know, because going into this game tomorrow, which kicks off in the afternoon for me, 1:25 I think, we won't know if we have anything to play for or not. The Packers game has been moved to start at the same time as our game, as has the Saints game. So we're not going to know if the Packers lost. We're not going to know if the Saints lost. So we're just going to have to play this game out, go all out trying to win, and then hope that something goes our way in at least one of those two games. And because the Packers have lost David Bakhtiari and the Saints don't have any running backs, it seems entirely possible that one of those games could go our way. So unfortunately, there's going to be nothing to do when we take the field tomorrow except go all out to try to win. Now, that doesn't mean we can't be smart in a few areas because, well, this is where the balancing act comes in. The 49ers are so banged up right now, so incredibly injured, so wounded, that honestly, you should be able to win this game without all of your troops. They don't have Javon Kinlaw. They don't have Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk now, so both their receivers, they're down to C.J. Beathard at QB. They're down Kwan Williams. They're down Trent Williams. We know they're down Sherman. They're down Dre Greenlaw. They're down so many players over there, and that is basically a team of backups. It's not totally a team of backups, but about the only superstar players they have out there right now are George Kittle and I guess you would say maybe Fred Warner. And after that, it gets really thin. So there's a balancing act to strike here because we should be able to beat this 49ers team without a full arsenal of players. So I'm looking at guys like Mike Upati, Greg Olson, Carlos Hyde, and Brandon Shell to all miss tomorrow's game. In fact, we know for a fact that Hyde and Shell are going to miss because of illnesses not related to COVID and contact tracing that may mean COVID in the case of Brandon Shell, but it doesn't seem like it does, but we're playing it safe. So I'm looking for all those players to sit out tomorrow. We can win this game without them. And then you have other layers to the balancing act because we do want to win, obviously, but we also know that there's a pretty good chance that winning will not mean that much. So I'm looking at it, Chris Carson, a dude who has had a very injury-plagued 2020. I definitely want to see him play as little as possible tomorrow because every time he goes out there and takes another hit, it's another play where he might cost himself the playoffs again after what happened last year. We don't want that. I'm looking at Tyler Lockett, a dude who has not been explosive for close to 2 months now, basically. Looking at him, wondering, hey, do you want to spend this game on the sideline? Do you want to go out there and put yourself in harm's way when there's a lot of reason to believe that you're already at much less than 100%? I'm looking at Bobby and KJ and saying, hey, you guys are old. You guys have been playing a ton of football this year. Bobby, I think, is already out of gas, and KJ might not be far behind at his advanced age. Do you guys want to play a couple of snaps and then come and spend the rest of the game sitting on the couch eating Skittles? I'm looking at guys like maybe Jamal Adams, who's already playing with broken fingers. Do you want to go out there and just go through the paces for a drive or two and then come out the rest of the game? Maybe that would be a good idea. Even Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson hasn't played great football the last couple months for the most part. He may be playing injured, although I'm not really prone to buying that. And no matter how you slice it, he looks like he's a little worn out, like he's a little slow, and that a week off or a effective week off might do him some good. So that's where the balancing act comes in for this game, because you want to win because you may have something to play for. You don't want to go all out and put people in harm's way because you're already guaranteed the 3 seed. There's probably not going to be anything to play for, and you have bigger goals in mind going forward. But you don't want to lose this game, and you should be able to win this game with limited resources to lean on because, hey, the 49ers, there's no way we're going to be more injured than they are. They are, like I said, third string quarterback, third string running back, backup offensive linemen, backup running backs, backup wide receivers, missing some of their best defensive linemen, missing a linebacker, missing Richard Sherman. The list goes on and on for that 49ers team. And honestly, if we have to go out there and our only running backs are Rashad Penny and Alex Collins, we should still be able to win that game. If we go out there with DK Metcalf playing a few drives, and then we spend the rest of the game throwing the ball to David Moore, Freddie Swain, and Penny Hart, we should be able to win this game. Hell, we should be able to win this game with Geno Smith. Because that 49ers team, no matter which backups we put out there, has way more issues than this Seahawks team. So this is an opportunity for this team to earn some time off because we're probably not getting that bye week. We would need a lot to go our way to get that bye week. So what I'm looking for tomorrow is good execution on that balancing act. Because like I said, there are a lot of players on this team, players that I haven't even mentioned that I think could use a game off. Dwayne Brown is another one of them. He's been playing on a bad knee all season long. He's gutting it out. Props to him for doing it, but I think he could benefit from taking a week off. Obviously, Mike Upati, obviously Greg Olsen. Those are the obvious ones. I know Demarius Randall's probably not going to play tomorrow for whatever that's worth. I'm interested to see how we handle the running back load because, like I said, I don't want to play Carson if we can avoid it, but I also know Carlos Hyde is out. DJ Dallas is out. I think Travis Homer's probably done for the season at this point. So how are we going to manage the backfield while still giving some of these veteran players who have some dings and bumps and bruises on them to prepare for the playoffs? Even a guy like Jerron Reed, who has been low-key battling a little bit of a chest injury lately, can you give him this week off? Can you win this game with Puna, Monet, and Rasheem Green and LJ Collier rotating to the inside every now and then? How bare bones can you make your roster while still being able to go out there and get the win? Because of course, I want to win. Even if the Seahawks had nothing to play for, I would want to win because I want to beat the 49ers. I want to go to 12-4, and I want to hope that something goes well in the other two games. But as Seahawks fans, we need to be mindful of the fact that this team has higher aspirations than just getting to 12-4. At what cost will 12-4 come at if we win, but somebody like Chris Carson ends up missing a playoff game, or Dwayne Brown? What is this team without those guys? I don't really want to see it against a good team. So, look, I'm not saying tomorrow's going to be easy because this 49ers team is playing tough despite their injuries. They are. They beat Arizona with a whole bunch of injuries. They had no business winning that game against Arizona, but they went out and did it. They took care of business. They're well coached enough to do that. They've been playing a lot of teams tough this year despite all their injuries. They beat the Rams twice. But that being said, this team should be able to take care of business without a full fleet of players. So what I want to see tomorrow, what I really want to see, I want to see this team give some players who need it the most the week off. I want to see a few other players play limited snaps. If Tyler Lockett could only play a drive or two, that would be great. If DK Metcalf could play maybe a half and then come out, that'd be nice. Wagner, KJ, etc. I'd like to see these players get limited burn this week, and maybe we'll see some good from the rookies, BBK, or not rookies, but younger players, the backups, BBK, Barton, hey, Brooks, we've seen good stuff from him lately. Let's see some more this week. And I want to see us find a way to win without the full arsenal, because again, even though the 49ers are playing well right now and they deserve all the credit in the world for continuing to play hard despite not having any playoff positions to hope for, you should be able to go out there tomorrow against this 49ers team and win with a limited roster. So hopefully the team plays well enough to earn themselves some time off. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. Jersey giveaway is still going on. I will be live streaming at least most of this game tomorrow. Come out. We'll watch the game together. We'll have some fun. We'll try to figure out if we have anything to root for. We'll try to figure out if there's any point to winning this game at all. We'll see how this team manages that balancing act. And, hey, I'm interested to see how this team pulls it together. So, peace out, go Hawks. See you guys later tonight.